does Marvel hate epileptics?
Typical of Victor Von Doom to build a 30-foot statue of himself.
Villainy villain does villainy things. Also, Victor Von Doom? Why not Villain Von Bad Guy the Third? Is it normal for welders to blowtorch sparks everywhere while people walk around with absolutely no security fences, scaffolding, or normal construction warning signs? It's not a real presentation in movies unless you can display it with a 3D hologram graphic that fills up nearly the whole room. As if his giveaway name wasn't enough, we're introduced to Von Doom while he sits in the dark in what is obviously an evil chair.
Same old Reed, always stretching, reaching for the stars.
Haha, Reed Richards is gonna be stretchy soon. Remember that time you f***ed up? Here's the magazine about it, in case you don't. Come, Wendy, let us try and jump the hilly brush. Holy shit, it's Nip Tuck's Julian McMahon, with the Shield's Michael Chiklis here. We've got the entire FX lineup from 2005 in this movie. Sudden Jessica Alba. Also, wow, all but one of the 5 main characters is in this room. I'm only 3 minutes in.
I think you both know my director of genetic research, Susan Storm.
I sure do. Thanks for reminding me of her name. Storm? Doom? It's like Marvel names its characters via Mad Lib. Also, I know I'm far from the first to point out shit like this, but I still have to give a sin for the fact that of the 3 characters whose full names we've learned, all have names whose first and last portions begin with the same letter. That's not anywhere near as cute as they think it is.
What's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst that could happen, Cliché?
Reed's always right.
He's obviously not always right, if he's no longer dating Jessica Alba.
When are we leaving?
Ben asks when they're leaving on the mission that only just got greenlit 5 floors ago.
I'll be scheduling the launch.
Sue Storm is the director of genetic research for this company, but also schedules space launches, for some reason.
Remember my brother Johnny?
Rock music plays between the first mention of a character and his first appearance in the next scene to signify that he's a badass and doesn't follow the rules. Where did the car go? Why was the woman he was kissing in that car driving down this road to the launch site? Also, what brought Ben and Reed out here with binoculars anyway? Were they like, hey, let's go out to the deck and look for Johnny when he drives up? We'll be able to figure out everything we need to know about his character from here.
That wingnut washed out of NASA for sneaking 2 Victoria's Secret wannabes into a flight simulator.
Sounds to me like he didn't wash out of NASA, but won NASA.
The look on your hard-ass former CEO's face.
If he says priceless, I'm gonna be really upset.
Priceless.
God damn it.
Who the hell came up with these?
Victor did.
How did Sue hear and know what Ben was saying from around the corner all the way back here?
The synthetics act as a second skin, adapting to your body's individual needs.
As it turns out, my body needs to show as much cleavage as possible. Movie glosses over the fact that they conceive of, plan for, train for, and execute this mission in 6 weeks. This computer screen contains equal amounts of character names and useless information.
ETA until cosmic event, 9 hours.
You cut it kind of fucking close, didn't you? They plan this entire mission in 6 weeks, but have no better way to put flower samples out in the path of the cosmic event than to send out a dude in a spacesuit.
We have less than 6 minutes.
I'll say, because the storm hits in less than 30 seconds after you say this.
Ben, you need to get inside now!
I ain't done arranging your flowers yet, egghead.
Ben translates Reed's panic as impatient asshole for some reason, probably so he can waste more time out here and everyone can get superpowers trying to save him. Christ, Ben himself, the lone human spacewalking outside the ship, should have noticed this f***ing cosmic event was way closer than it should be. This bursting get your powers montage is f***ing stupid.
I swear to you, Ben, they've done everything humanly possible.
Har har, character that everyone knows will be horribly disfigured has to endure a fake-out disfigurement just for laughs. It's funny. Fucking laugh already, assholes. This dude's ridiculously large chair. Movie rips off the villainous mad at his board of directors thing from Spider-Man. Sexy nurse is so Florence Nightingale over Johnny that she doesn't even bother to tell him that his temperature is off the charts. If the screen was able to keep track of his temperature, what did she need the thermometer for? And if the screen just projects the thermometer's readings, then why did she look at the thermometer instead of the screen?
How are you feeling?
Solid.
We secretly replaced all your character development with gut-busting inside jokes.
You couldn't have possibly predicted it.
Yes, he totally could possibly have predicted that the storm arrived 7 hours earlier than his calculations simply by looking out a f***ing window once or twice. Didn't he say,
Meet me at 4:01 at the top of the mountain.
how did she know that that meant to go to a place where a helicopter would take them to the mountain?
Last one down, Springs for room service!
By the way, her temperature was 209. Probably nothing to worry about. I'll see you at the bottom of the hill.
I never thought you'd be so easily.
This song. How did she find him? Remember, he fell off the cliff, and in midair he turned into the Human Torch and crash-landed. And she also took a tumble.
Care to join me?
Sure, this isn't in any way abnormal. This shouldn't concern me at all as a trained nurse or anyone with common sense. Cameraman forgets to pan up.
Sir, I have always wondered, why Sue?
Good question. No idea. I'm gonna turn into a supervillain face.
Look at me.
I can't.
Does anyone say what normal people would say when they see something like this? So if Sue hadn't freaked out and knocked over the wine bottle, when would this dude's powers have ever manifested? Next week, when he sees an old lady dropping some groceries? He still hasn't put on clothes? That means he was rescued on the mountainside and flew or rode all the way back to the lab without so much as considering a new pair of pants. You know, it'll be really interesting if they ever find a way to put the Fantastic Four and Captain America in the same movie. I get that his DNA has been fundamentally altered by the space cloud, but how did his cells add mass? Shit. We'll never find him now. We've heard about Ben's beloved Debs about 1,500 times in this film, but they don't bother showing us her until this stupid I'm a Rock Now baby scene. And now I know why. Because it's Andrea! Run!
Hey! I'm calling the police!
Because some girl went running? The kind of neighborhood is this? I guess Ben didn't cause one disturbance when he walked on the Brooklyn Bridge to go pout about his wife not loving him anymore?
What's the worst that could happen?
Character mocks a cliche from earlier cliche. Haha, birds don't know he's a person. Just when you think the movie's already drained the cliche well dry, out comes coincidental suicide guy. What the hell is this driver speeding through a wreck for? Also, suddenly there's a big pileup where that speeding car just whizzed past with no problem. Are you f***ing kidding me? These assholes just happened to be on the bridge right when Ben's little incident is happening? This is a city of 9 million people! Wait, Ben just caused this traffic jam accidentally, a few seconds ago. How the f*** are there randomly 2 cop cars there to do crowd control? Nope, nobody regards stuff like this with any amazement whatsoever.
I'm gonna need therapy.
Blood relations do not supersede the hotness of Jessica Alba. You would totally not need therapy. Unless it's therapy about wanting to bang your sister.
Why don't you strip down and have 100 people stare at you?
Sue,
Even though her invisibility already failed her once on this bridge and embarrassed her, Sue decides f*** it and just takes off her bra and panties anyway. Also, invisible naked Jessica Alba. Wait a minute, wasn't the whole reason she became invisible so that she could get past all these cops? So why are Johnny and Ben suddenly able to just prance past all the cops too? Also, there are 4 police cars, not 2, and an ambulance, and 2 fire engines, all randomly on the bridge together when the traffic jam started.
Still can't believe you made me do that.
we got through, didn't we?
Not because she got naked and invisible. That was 100% extraneous. That's not how fire works. This is from the Descolation of Smog School of Fire Protection, right? Oh look, more powers being discovered by accident. Also, why does everyone that was in the space cloud get 1 power except for Sue, who gets 2?
Get down on the ground now!
Cops change their mind on arresting someone based on crowd applause. Oh, come on. You know what kind of bullshit Ben's wife would have had to go through to make it to this exact spot on the Brooklyn Bridge to meet up with her husband? Also, you came all the way here to tell your now hero husband that you don't want to be married anymore? Holy shit, that's harsh. Also, you see him on the news, you think to yourself, I need to run to the bridge and tell him we're through right now. Also, Debs is addicted to things. Geez, when do people get tired of clapping?
We're scientists, not celebrities.
It's too late, son.
Magic TV just happens to be around so that the cop can show Reed they're already celebrities.
The Fantastic Four.
First of all, roll credits. Second of all, there's no way that the news would have come up with some brilliant name for these superheroes already. And it sure as f wouldn't have had Fantastic in the title.
Welcome back to the Baxter, Dr. Richards.
Stan Lee cameo is Stan Lee.
How come Ben can't turn it on and off like we can?
That's what we're here to find out.
This is maybe the only superhero movie in history where the entire plot of the movie is the superheroes trying to get rid of their badass new abilities. I wonder what kind of things go in this book. This article repeats itself after 5 paragraphs. And this article is not about voting. And this article is the exact same as the previous one, only they changed 9-year-old to high school student. Meanwhile, Cut-Off article is about the same thing the vote article was about. We need to understand what happened to your DNA, so let's hit your rock knee with a hammer.
Johnny, you were at 4,000 Kelvin. That's the temperature of the sun.
That kind of heat should have done a lot more damage. Hell, it should have melted the titanium chamber he was in before he even hit 2,000 Kelvin. And it should have burned, at the very least, this whole apartment building down.
How's that coming?
That's a rude question to ask women.
Do you feel anything right now?
Hey, guys.
Hey, we need to interrupt this relationship drama one more time because when we keep coming back to it, it gives me a feeling of euphoria.
Stronger than titanium or carbon steel, harder than diamonds.
How the f did your little med clinic have any of the equipment necessary to test and confirm any of the shit you are saying right now? Cute shot, but there's no way he can see what he's writing this far away.
Our uniforms were exposed to the storm, like us, so they can transform like us.
Well, that's convenient. It prevents assholes like us asking, how do their uniforms keep up with their superpowers? Wired is still selling that Reed Richards is bankrupt issue we saw at the beginning of this movie. Invisible Naked Jessica Alba Part 2. Has Ben gotten to eat yet? He's still fumbling with forks and trying to pick up food. It's been like months, right?
I'm gonna build a machine to recreate the storm.
Why do you need to go up to study the storm in the first place then, if this is possible?
You can knock!
Haha, no shit. Also, movie keeps teasing us with naked Jessica Alba with no intention of actually showing us naked Jessica Alba. The Fantastic Four keep their extra rolls of toilet paper in a room far away from the actual room you would need it in. This is a typical New York Post headline, but am I the only one who thinks Jean-Claude Van Damme should be here, kicking Von Doom in the head, and the title should be Van Damme for Von Doom? No? Okay, moving on. How is this the first time this has happened? Once he realizes what his powers are capable of, Victor takes revenge on the board of directors guy because this movie literally started out as a photocopy of the Spider-Man script.
What's with these lights, huh? About the IPO. No hard feelings, right?
Why is this guy nervous around Von Doom all of a sudden? Does he know that he has this kind of power? He obviously doesn't because he starts mocking him right after this. So they've been locked up in the building and not going out in public for what I thought was a few weeks, and yet he's still got a custom license plate for his Porsche that is based on his superpowers? Shit, it takes weeks and weeks just to receive custom-ordered plates. Nighttime establishing shot, Johnny needs to get out of here, Porsche leaving the garage with the headlights on, and then bam, it's broad daylight. We interrupt this superhero movie to bring you Grease. If he burned the tires, why does this asshole's car make an engine sputtering noise?
From the Fantastic Four!
These guys are not the f***ing Beatles. Everyone does not love them instantly and completely because of that one incident and a cutesy TV news nickname they were given.
Is it true what they say about him, that he can expand any part of his anatomy?
Yeah, that sounds great in theory, ladies, until you realize that his penis is floppy rubber.
You think that's funny, Pebbles?
Oh good, the part we've been waiting to see for a whole hour. The heroes start fighting with each other scene. Clearly, I can't let product placement this stupid go by without a comment, but all I can think of right now is f***ing fuckers.
Make it a triple. Put it on my tab.
Ben loses his wife, but thankfully there's a super hot blind Kerry Washington waiting in the wings. You can't tell me that they've been shut up in that building for enough weeks for Johnny to get his custom license plate, but not long enough for Ben to learn how to pick up a glass without breaking it. That's called having your cake and breaking it too. I guess when this relationship gets serious, her vagina will go blind too. Haha, Latveria. Also, this is what you get for humanitarian contributions. Some scary Halloween mask.
Remember this place?
Of course. This is where I first asked you out.
Oh no, it was not. As clearly spelled out in the memory scrapbook, you guys met at MIT. What circumstances would have led to you coming out to romantic New York City sites if you weren't already dating?
So what possible reason could he have for taking his time?
The space cloud also altered his DNA so he'd be more susceptible to obvious reverse psychology tactics. The following dialogue is filled with cliches. Enjoy.
Don't talk to me like I'm a little boy, okay?
Maybe I would if you stopped acting like one. Who do you think you are?
Why is everyone on my ass? If you live your life, I'll live mine.
Sue and Johnny's conflict literally comes in the form of an argument about how much the public truly cares about Johnny. They spelled out power on the inner core control, but apparently did not have enough room to do it on the outer core or chamber controls. Scientist running out of time and funding tests his theories on himself. Oh no, Jessica Alba's breasts are in trouble. Von Doom is the only person in New York who notices this shit.
Leonard, bring Ben Grimm to the Baxter building.
Because Ben Grimm has been shown to be the kind of guy who just does whatever people named Leonard tell him to do. Johnny Storm, who's always mugged by fans, goes into an apparently empty Times Square and is the only person who notices this shit. I knew Von Doom had electrical powers, but does he have superhuman strength too? Also, no, he's dead now. Didn't the machine make Reed's rubberness worse? Did he sleep it off? Try to figure out how he's not Reed soup right now, let alone standing confidently and ready to fight someone.
Are you okay?
Never better, Jimmy.
Well, that was necessary.
What happens to rubber when it's super cooled?
This guy knows Reed isn't literally made out of rubber, right? We interrupt Fantastic Four to bring you Eyes Wide Shut. Shut your eyes. Shit. I feel like I've said this recently. Apparently Johnny Storm's flight failure is just like a propeller going out in an old biplane.
2 down, 2 to go.
Without binoculars or a telescope or any verification, Doom makes a giant leap that Johnny died in that explosion. Sue doesn't put up a force field even when it's obvious Doom is about to strike.
Marco Polo.
That's racist.
It's time to end this.
Then do it already. It took Ben exactly 1 minute to change back into the thing, take the elevator all the way down to the Baxter building, run a distance that is probably at least a half mile, if not more, get in the elevator of Doom's building, and go all the way to the top and smash through the perfect wall to stop Doom. Also, Ben somehow transformed himself back into the thing because I guess Reed built the machine with an easy-to-find reverse switch? Movie goes out of its way to show us random dude racing to avoid the flood, but then eliminates him entirely from the wide shot. Movie unintentionally inspires The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Goodbye, Ben.
Saying something about villains saying something before they kill someone has even become tiring. Good God, Wilhelm, get out of the way. There's a fight happening in the street.
Johnny, supernova! I thought we agreed that was bad!
In Ghostbusters it worked. It was their last resort. But in this movie, they really need Johnny to reach the temperatures of the sun?
Sue! Think you can contain it?
Well, no, dude. She could barely contain one electricity blast from Doom 10 seconds ago. Remember? We had to throw the mailbox at Doom to save her? But whatever, I guess. I just want this shit to end. Fantastic Four steals the nosebleed when using superpowers thing from Chronicle. Oh, wait. These assholes rapid cool the hot metal bad guy, but don't punch him into a million brittle pieces for some reason.
I'm good as is.
Yeah, with miraculous Kerry Washington love, anything is possible. So you locked him in a shipping container? Shit, at least they put parallax deep into the ground. You guys aren't even trying. Also, were you just locking it up and signing off on the cargo while already out to sea? Also, I guess top men are working on this right now. Who? Top men.
You could always move back to Latveria. Start fresh.
Forecast for tomorrow: a few sprinkles of genius with a chance of doom.
Wow. Yes! He totally bailed.
I didn't get his autograph.
Reed's always right. Good thing he doesn't always know what he's got.
Mirror,
have used to dial are too fat. To obtain a special dialing wand, please mash the keypad with your palm now.
Our uniforms were exposed to the storm, like us, so they can transform like us.
Your sword can stretch as far as you can without injuring yourself. And machine washable dialing, that's a new feature.
Oh my god, Reed, what did you do?
You know what?
No.
That makes me mad.
What is it?
Thing. Motherfucker. Looks just like the Thing.
So tell me, what happens when you superheat rubber?
The same thing that happens to everything else.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.